Hi, I'm Yuqing. Today I'm going to talk about odor-evoked memory in the interaction design context. This is the main research question. I've been interested in thinking about the relationship between smell and memory, and how smell can evoke certain memories in the interaction design. The way in which I've been exploring this topic is from different angles. I have asked the several questions that emerged through my research. The way this presentation has been structured is, first, I'm gonna lay out theoretical thinking, and next, I'm gonna move on to discuss primary research, using qualitative analysis methods to find the limitations of smell relation to memory, and then I'm moving on to the possibility method to doing this. I'm going to discuss a specific design project and talk about what they do. And finally, I will discuss the further challenges in this field. The theoretical framework that I weaved in order to think about this is as follows. I have looked at it from the scientific perspective, specifically neurobiology, and then I have thought about it from the functional perspective, especially focusing on what function the sense of smell assumes in primitive human existence and the relationship between smell and memory. And finally, I have explored it from a design perspective, looking into how specific designers have developed projects that explore scent and memories in different ways. To understand this issue in more depth, I will explore the current state of research in this field from the following aspect. I will review relevant literature in this field to summarize the existing theoretical research and practice. First, I will expand an important definition for my study: odor memory. Odor memory can be defined as both memory for odors and memory that is associated to or evoked by odors. Next, I will explore the relationship between smell and memory. From the perspective of neurobiology, odor signals are sent directly from the cerebral cortex to the limbic system that processes feelings and memory. And the olfactory cortex is the only sensory system that has direct and strong contact with neurotransmitters of emotion and memory. This explains the strong associations between smell, emotion, and memory. The sense of smell was once used for navigation and recognition, and it can subconsciously evoke time and memory. The survival function based on this special connection is being replaced by technology based on vision and hearing, which has caused the functionality of smell to be gradually ignored and forgotten about. Compared with scent and hearing, interaction designers have put far less effort into developing and utilizing smell. However, because smell is such a strong trigger for distinct emotional memories, it might open up more options for interaction design based on memory retrieval and nostalgic experience. Verlander and Lawson stated that smells can transport people's memories and sentiments back to a certain time and location in the past. If this link is used in the context of interaction design, designers will be able to expand more opportunities for sensory interaction, such as recalling and recovering memories through scent clues. With the advent of olfactory technology, odor has been widely studied and applied in interaction design. Because the sense of smell plays an important role in memory and emotion, smell is considered to have the potential as a sensory clue as devices that prompt recall and create nostalgic experiences. However, the parts of smell that are not well understood are the ones that are most difficult to develop and implement. Ken pointed out that designers currently have a limited understanding of how to link smell to memories or emotions in the interaction design context, which cause more challenges in building olfactory interaction spaces. The existing research has mostly focused on the technological advancement of odor interaction. Brewster, McGuckin, and Miller explored the possibility of smell as a retrieval tool for digital photo collections and created a smell-based photo tagging tool. Kay discussed the problem of computer-controlled odor output from a technical viewpoint, including the mutual interference of odors and the timeliness of output odors restricting the experience. Double the time, Hardam and Roxio designed and developed a wearable olfactory display that could receive personal odor notifications. These studies do not indicate much about the general potential of scent technologies for humans or their capacity to create specific experiences. Previous works are mostly about solving the scientific and technical problems of olfactory interaction, which lacks a guiding framework to improve the olfactory experience and the design performance. This study, in contrast to the previous work, focuses on the olfactory experience and investigates design limitations and solutions by evaluating the audience's memory and emotional response to the scent. In order to investigate the influencing factors and limitations of smell-induced memory in the process of interaction, I designed an experiment to observe the degree of odor recognition and participants' reactions, both emotion and memory induced by odor. In this experiment, 23 participants were required to fill out a questionnaire to describe related memories and emotions by experiencing one smell. In addition, the participants' descriptions of odors, odor-induced emotions, and memories were recorded in the form of keywords. The statistical chart on the left side shows the gender and age of the participants. 4 odors were provided to the participants, which include lavender, lemon, rosemary, and pine. And I only use numbers to label this scent. To investigate the factors affecting odor-evoked memory, the gender and age of the participants were counted. The other questions concerned the familiarity of the smells and the vocabulary, emotions, and memories triggered by the smell. The flowchart on the right side shows the procedure of the experiment. According to the experiment, what I found interesting is that from the perspective of gender, the male participants describe smells and memories more objectively. For example, they tended to use nouns to label smells, such as lavender and forest, and their memories of smells were all objective occurrences. In contrast, the female participants' memories were more subjective and emotional. When they described the scent-related words, they used more adjectives and colors. For example, when describing lemon-related words, they used words such as sweet, fresh, and yellow. In the same way, they expressed more feelings in the description of odor recall memory, such as comfortable and disgusting. This finding confirmed the views of a previous study. I didn't find significant effect of age difference on odor-induced memory. However, what attracted me was that among the keywords prompted by the smell-induced memory, childhood, young, and primary school were the most frequent. This indicates that most of the memories induced by smell come from the early stages of life, which is consistent with a study of Hearst and Engine, but contrary to the results of another study. I also found that there were differences in the level of familiarity with smells. When only the smell was presented, 30% of participants were able to fully recognize it, and 20% gave a score of 5 or less on the familiarity of the smell. I also found one participant had slight olfactory impairment after recovering from the COVID-19. The most important thing I found is that the odor memories of the individuals are quite different, although some odors had a significantly higher overlap rate of this. For example, the participants' responses to rosemary and lemon scent clearly contained many consistent words. However, I found a significant differences in the participants' ratings of the pleasantness of the lavender and the pine scent. On the contrary, people's feedback on the pleasure of lemon and rosemary was more stable. I also found the same response difference existed in smell-associated word and odor-evoked emotion. For example, lemon-associated word description was mostly refreshing and summer. Participants used more words such as happy and joy to mark the emotions triggered by the smell of lemon. In contrast, participants' evaluations of the smells triggered by lavender were quite different. Some people used the calm and sleep to describe the emotions triggered by the smell of lavender. However, others described their triggered emotions with words such as disturbed and anxious. The descriptions of the odor-induced memories showed that smell successfully evoked the memories for most of the participants. The biggest category of odor-evoked memory was related to the past, personal experiences, and contained 14 stories. For example, an artist who was dedicated to the study of forest and art found that the smell of pine recalled his experience of traveling through forests around the world. The second category of memory was based on a specific environment, such as a room full of air fresheners and a garden after the rain. The last type of odor-induced memory was certain products, such as oat bran lemonade. In addition, participants who were not memory triggered by smell said that they felt the emotion of something that happened in the past, but couldn't remember what they experienced. In general, the odor effectively induced memory. I summarized the result of the experiment as shown on the slide. In response to the second sub-question, I will discuss the subjectivity of odor-evoked memory and the weak recognition of odors in more detail. This experiment found that the memories induced by smell were mainly related to an individual's life experience, followed by the influence of emotional and environmental factors. However, in the descriptions of memories evoked by the same smell, similar words rapidly appeared, showing that people have public memory of certain smells. In addition, smells also have significant differences in how they elicit emotion. Participants were consistent with the emotions induced by some smells, and showed strong personal preferences for other smells. It can be concluded that odor-induced memories are subjective. Due to differences in personal preferences and the perceived sensitivity, the audience perception and memory of odors cannot be predicted. From the perspective of odor recognition, participants' performance in odor recognition was weak when only odor were present. This may be related to the audience's adaptability to the new medium. Using our sense of smell is currently not the main way we interact with the world, which may cause the audience to be less adaptable to the olfactory experience and have difficulty recognizing a smell. In addition, it is also necessary to consider the limitation of groups with defective or temporarily impaired olfactory systems. According to the discussions of the experiment, I summarized the limitations and design trade-offs in expanding the olfactory interaction design. which responds to my second sub-question. By combining the experiment with interaction design, I listed those limitations into some specific problems. In order to answer the last sub-question, I proposed potential solutions in combination with related theories and demonstrate the design method in several existing design cases. First of all, memory induced by smell is subjective and unpredictable, so designers cannot accurately induce specific memories of the audience through smell. In response to this limitation in the interaction design context, users can be provided with a personal scent combination based on their own life experiences, which can assist in inducing autobiographical memory. Majoroni also suggested that individual differences must be recognized as a designer, and maybe this can be addressed by allowing customization. Although this results in a workload of order selection, its benefits can be seen over time. I think the best example to demonstrate this design method is Sentimental. Sentimental is a brain funded by Stewart that aims to utilize the sense of smell to allow patients with dementia to better engage with their memories, thereby improving the quality of their life and slowing down the onset of the degenerative disease. After being diagnosed with dementia, the patients and their families are invited to work with a scent expert to create a portfolio of scent based on the individual's memories and life experiences. This project considers the influence of personal experiences on odor-evoked memory and provides dementia patients with an opportunity to remand and retrieve memories through scent customization. The portfolio of scent allows patients to select their own scent from the predefined scent categories. This approach reduces the complexity of odor design in interactions due to individual differences and provides a possible way for patients and their families to interact with odors. In addition, personalized smells might help patients' families comfort and care for them by eliciting positive feelings in them. Another method is to provide a platform for the audience to share their memories and emotions of the scent during the olfactory experience. During the audience's interaction with the scent, shared memories have the potential to trigger nostalgic experiences as well as emotional resonance. According to the results of the experiment, some specific smells can induce public memory. Kendall stated that shared memory is the inevitable result of human social interaction and cooperation, which explains the overlap of memories triggered by smells. Also, he believed that we shared a way of being in the world, so there are similarities in perception, awareness, behavior, emotion, and memory. Hartman argues that forcing public memory is a contentious undertaking that involves both preserving and losing pieces from the past. A platform for sharing olfactory experiences embraces a broader range of memories, which allows people with similar smell memories to communicate with each other. Let's see how it works in a real design case. Smell Map Paris is a scent installation that allows audiences to share their memories and feelings of different landscape smells from Paris. Maclean captures the smell of the Paris city landscape to create a smell-induced experience. The artist selects and makes scent based on her own and others' memories of the scent of different locations in Paris. This installation is presented in the form of a scent map where the audience can leave their emotions and memories of the scent into the different locations. This is a great interactive way for the audience to participate and communicate their memories and feelings of smells to each other through words. The second main question is that the audience's adaptability to the olfactory experience and the limitation of olfactory ability will reduce the efficiency of using odor-evoked memory in the context of interaction. For this limitation, semantic processing and multisensory interaction has been suggested to effective design methods to solve this. In my study, semantic processing refers to provide relevant word labels or descriptions for a smell so that it can be placed in a context mentally for more in-depth processing. And multisensory interaction refers to interactions between two or more different sensory modalities. In addition, several studies have demonstrated the positive effects of these two methods on olfactory recognition and odor-evoked memory, which shown on the slide. Another design example can be found in a computer game. Tainted is a first-person 3D adventure game based on visual, auditory, olfactory multimodal interactions. The designer creates an immersive game experience about hero legends mainly through smell stimulation, which allow players to detect predetermined game circumstances, for example, expanding danger and game clues, get game narrative information, and elicit desired emotional reactions. The story is mainly driven by the odors, and the narrative semantic processing offers a concrete context in which to relate it. For example, the banana smells with ghost. The combination of the visual with sound improves olfactory perception, making smells more effectively in eliciting emotions such as terror and curiosity, and memories such as obtain scent cues for the audience. This part responds to the third sub-question. Based on the specific questions, I proposed 4 potential design methods to respond them combined with real design cases. In conclusion, this report is a result of a navigation into the possibility and potential value of smell as a memory clue for the field of interaction design context. To understand the current status of my research question, I reviewed the relevant literature and found that the extant studies lack design guidelines regarding odor interactions to evoke memory. Then, I explored the current limitations of odor-evoked memory in the context of interaction design through olfactory experiment. Finally, I proposed 4 effective design methods based on theoretical support. Each design method combined with an application case demonstrates the design opportunities in practice and the benefits of scent-based interaction on users' performance. As a reminder, this is the conclusion of my beginning to ask these new questions. Now I've done this work. Although I proposed some design methods as guidelines, I'm aware that these approaches represent only an initial stepping stone between the theory and practice of scent-based interaction design. There are things that I still try to be considered, such as the effects of cultural background and procedural sensitivity on odor-triggered memory. They don't necessarily go away and they are still exist. The smell is still very ambiguous and actually is quite difficult to work with. These are ongoing kind of problems. However, I still find it is an interesting topic that attracts my attention. These are things that still need to be considered and are among the things I'm still working on. There are a lack of research in this field and it remains difficult, even when we look at it at a neurological perspective. I'm thinking about how I use that as a designer, and don't try to ignore the trouble of it. This is the end of my presentation, and I've listed the bibliography on the slide. Thanks for listening.